All right, folks, we are back with game number 4 between Newbee and Vici Gaming here. It is Captain's Draft 4.0, the grand finals of the Chinese qualifiers. Into the draft we go. Vici Gaming up 2-1 against Newbee. Newbee looking to even the series up and force game 5. They've had a couple of rough drafts. They've tried for some split pushing. Vici Gaming, of course, playing really well around that gyrocopter. And that was the question I was pondering in the last game. Were they going to ban that hero? And Newbee, with the third overall ban, or rather their third overall ban, they will take the gyrocopter away from Paparazzi, which basically I feel like was a very comfortable hero for Vici Gaming those first 3 games.
Yeah, and I think it's something that like Vici, they like playing it. I think it even suits this draft, like the pool that's available here, reasonably well. I could definitely see Vici picking some kind of like gyrocopter, a bat-in, like Necro even as the 3 cores, and then just running at Newbee. And whether or not Newbee would be able to deal with that is another question. There isn't that much AoE control in this game, which is actually where maybe this Terrorblade is going to be a bit scary, though there is the Tinker.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Maybe with the Ogre pick. Interesting. Okay, so they're probably enabling something, right? They're definitely going to be using the Bloodlust in some way this game.
The question is what is available that works well with the Bloodlust? There's like no sniper, which we might see, but there's still like SF, Drow kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the Drow strat is an option. They could do something like a Drow safe lane, Necro mid, everybody bloodlusted, and then, I mean, even grab like a KP Batrider for the off lane, something on those lines. But Vici just going to be going for this clock. They do seem to really like the clock.
Right.
They've been picking it really heavily. Maybe we'll see clock SF. But...
Ooh, the old school, the combo. We might. You're really into the Shadow Fiend now. I kind of wish we will. I hope we see it, but I
want to see it, but yeah, it's maybe a little bit too. It's been out of the meta for a while.
Yeah.
And like the position 4 hero is still quite strong. A lot of the popular 4s really get up in SF's face and doesn't deal with it that well. So
I guess if there's any place to try it, it might be Captain's Draft. So you never know. They will pick the Witch Doctor for Vici. Another hero to talk about that we haven't really talked about because we think it's not getting picked. And this is something Purge really touched on when I was casting with him for NA was the Morphling. He seemed to really enjoy this hero. He wanted to watch it. I think the hero's in a really weird spot right now. It doesn't have the split push capabilities that he used to. I doubt there's any chance we see it here, although it would be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't think Morphling is... I think that might be a waste of a pick, potentially. Well, I don't want to say that much, but... I would like to see it. I don't think we will, is what I'll say.
The hero is interesting, but I think is bad.
Right. That's essentially what I was getting at. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's just in a really weird place. He'll probably get iterated on a little bit more in some future patches. And oh man, Newbee just like, yep, all right, we're gonna tinker. We want the split push. We want the 5-man defense. It's tinker time. I mean, there's not that much to catch the tinker necessarily this game. They could take the Batrider themselves, which I think might eliminate like one of the only good options.
I was thinking Legion or Axe. Maybe not Axe. Legion's probably the other good one if you can get vision. Even CK we've seen build like Blink Deckers and stuff like that, but against the Tinker, I'm not sure if it's the best because again, Tinker against Legions.
Yeah, I mean, against Tinker, it's about the flying vision. Right?
Yeah, very true. The Batrider, you're sure you are absolutely right. Getting flying vision is very important. You could also just go for a quick lineup for Vici, maybe. Is there potential to push? There's like the Drow, there's a Jakiro, so maybe they could do something like that against the Tinker. Not sure if that's the best idea, but there are options for sure.
I'm actually really interested to see if SC plays Tinker, because KP is, I would say, one of the best Tinker players in the world, or at one point he was. I don't know if he's ever really played it in a competitive setting, and it depends on how much stock you place in like Dota buff rankings, but his Tinker is actually pretty impressive. So I'm gonna go and see if SC has ever played Tinker in a pro match.
That'd be pretty hype if to see KP play the Tinker. He played the Phantom Lancer last game. It's not that game wasn't his fault, but he didn't have the biggest impact in the world. Newbee, in the meantime, will pick up the Phoenix for themselves. Again, we saw that last game from Young 11 in the off lane, but it's very good support, very good 4-position support, especially if you have an Ogre Magic already. And I would imagine that's what Newbee are going to do here. There's still plenty of offlane heroes available, like the Axe, like the Abad, and like the Legion Commander. So one would assume that this is going to be a Kaka Phoenix. At least I would assume.
Well, they've got Turtle for Millennia now.
Yeah, very true.
That's good.
I don't know, man. You could still do a kind of a pushing strat for Vici. Will they? Probably not. I think this will. I have a feeling we're going to see a CK at the end of this draft for one of these teams, probably for Vici.
How do you? I don't know how you pick the CK into the Tinker.
Not into Tinker. That's now that I said that earlier too. I'm getting a little tired, basically. You got to bear with me. It's like 2:40 in the morning.
That's all right. I went in between games to go make a cup of tea as well. I've got my green tea right here.
See, that's what I should have done. The in between this game was actually really fast. We were into the draft before I knew it. I was gonna say this. Damn it! I should have just said Clinks.
This is pretty cool. It's good against the Phoenix for sure. Being able to kill off the egg. It is a hero that can potentially find the Tinker. I mean, once he gets his blink, it becomes a little bit more difficult. But before that point, I think Clinks does actually have some potential to find kills on the Tinker. And at least they've got the clockwork, right? I guess that's the one aspect that we haven't talked about, that they do actually have the clockwork to be able to scout the Tinker and jump on him and find kills that way. Ember also not too bad at that either, being able to remnant into the trees and jump on top of the Tinker, do some damage to him.
Also good split pushing, wave clear, Ember Spirit, very good at that type of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'll help at least in a little bit, but not going to help in terms of push. And that's a good pick against Ember. And Clinks for that matter.
Clinks, good against the Ember, pretty good with the Phoenix.
All right, well, you know what? You know what? I should have just said there's going to be a Chaos Knight. I shouldn't have said it's going to be for Vici or for whatever.
That's all right.
We
knew what you meant.
I'm about to walk away.
It is good. It's really good against Clinks and Ember. All this physical damage that they've added to the lineup at the end, I think is good. I don't know about this Clinks. I don't know if I liked Clinks that much before the patch. I don't know if I like him that much after the patch. They seem to be moving him in a direction where he's probably going to be a better hero, but I think he's still a little bit questionable. I might eat my words this game. Maybe Clinks will have an amazing start and just completely take over, since I do think he has pretty good solo kill potential against a lot of the newbie heroes, but we'll see.
You haven't seen the strafe dodge animation yet. Listen.
No, he just teleports. There's no animation.
Yeah,
I know. Like, it looks so goofy.
It is really goofy.
He just kind of hops around.
Listen, that's gonna be what wins him the game. That strafe miss, the strafe dodge.
I mean, you can dodge a Chaos Bolt. Pretty sick. I was surprised that Vici. I was like, I'm surprised that they picked the Witch Doctor instead of the Jakiro, because they tend to be so push oriented, and the Jakiro seems so good with the clockwork, and in terms of getting this overall push going. But all right, they do grab it in the end, but it's going to be the Young 11 hero. So we have a core Jakiro, which could actually be super annoying for this newbie lineup. He can Macropyre down trees to try and find the Tinker. He can throw Macropyre on the Legion Commander when she's dueling. He's got great AoE control against the CK, not only in terms of damage and stun, but even the attack speed reduction, I think, is going to be pretty annoying for the CK, given that a core Jakiro should be able to max everything out.
Yes,
is the other thing, compared to a support Jakiro where you kind of have to prioritize what you're not going to get all your points in dual breath or something, for example, but not a problem for core Jakiro. So I'm actually hyped for this core Jakiro. Maybe I was favoring Newbee's lineup a little bit before this, but I might just believe in the Young 11 Double Dragon.
Well, the thing about the Jakiro in this game is the laning phase. Is if he's against the CK Ogre Phoenix, that sounds pretty miserable for Jakiro. That's the issue I have with it. I agree. I like the idea because, first of all, Vici really like having this push going with Young 11. And I also thought it was a good pick to begin with. So I think it's fine if you can survive. But again, against CK is so good in lane and getting kills, reality rifting, and setting things up for his Ogre and for his Phoenix, that if they don't have a good lane for Young 11, if they can't find the right musical lanes, he could easily get dominated. And he died a lot last game on the Phoenix. That didn't matter. This game, it might matter a lot more. killing the Shakiro, getting him out of the game kind of is important. So we'll see. We will see how Vici set up the lanes. Maybe they do something a little bit crazy in their own laning setup. But for now, this is game 4. Vici 1 game away from heading to Washington, D.C. Newbee need to force this game to game 5. Get this game 1. And then we'll have a game 5 on our hands. And that's a definite possibility with this Newbee draft. So we will see how things shape up here as we enter the game.
Yeah, I think there is something to be said for momentum being on Vici's side as well, having won a couple in a row now. So that I don't think that plays in too much, but you know, maybe Newbee seems to have doubled down, especially like picking the Tinker as early as they did in terms of their lineup. They may have also picked the Tinker as early as they did to deter Vici from taking the CK, so that then they could take the CK later on. I don't know if we're getting that many levels deep on Captain's Draft just yet, but just something to throw out there. Newbee gotta somehow make sure that this Tinker gets out of the gate. And I guess that all comes down to the Chaos Knight, because I don't think the Legion Commander is going to be doing too much in the early game either. So CK and the supports got some heavy lifting to do.
I would not be surprised to see SCCC have a great early game, but who knows? Vici, they've been really dominant so far. They've gotten plenty of lane victories. They're winning 2 in a row. This is where it all comes together. This landing phase, it could be huge for Newbee, or it could be quite a disaster. But we will see what seems to be an aggressive tri-lane for now. They will have Kaka rotate up there, I'm sure. So it's an aggressive dual lane. It's a lot of damage. Paparazzi needs to be careful. I'm sure they have detection. Well, maybe not. Maybe they don't. So they might have some on Kaka. Nope. They'll have to ferry some up there. So Paparazzi will be safe for now, but still relatively squishy in comparison to Mugi, who could just destroy him with Reality Rift and Chaos Bolt. So he needs to be careful, but already, Ori off to a fast start. 3 last hits for him and a deny. And bottom KP getting zoned out as well. We'll see if Newbee likes these lanes or if they shift it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how long the Legion Commander is going to be able to hold on to bottom in the face of the Jakiro, because there's going to be a lot of liquid fire spam coming out very quickly. So yeah, I think this tier 1's going to end up dropping probably before like 6 or 7 minutes. Depends on rotations and stuff. They might swap up the lanes if they feel like they don't want Paparazzi up here. Against the Ogre CK.
It's scary. We saw a lot of musical lanes last game, I think it was, but not so much happening this game. Dual Breath again, bottom. KP is going to just press the attack it off. A little bit low on mana now. He does have 8 tangos. So, again, this is still early in Young 11. When he gets more levels, this is getting a lot harder for KP, I think. But for now, it's still it's okay for him. But
Kaka just hanging out in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Zoning out Ori. SC started with 2 bounty runes, so they're getting him off to a good start. Looking like he's going to be... I mean, some of the items have changed, but looks like probably still going to be going for pretty standard Tinker build-up. Bottle, BOTs, Soul Ring. I've seen people going for Kaya a bit.
Battery Assault. KP's going to give away first blood to Young 11. They dove into the tree line. Yeah, this lane looks a little hard for KP, for sure.
I don't know what he can
Chaos
really do.
Bolt, they get the dust off. It's a 1-second stun. The Icarus dive coming in. Paparazzi's low. The Sunray, they really want the skill they're going to find it. Kaka having level 2 is more than enough to get the kill. Faith will take a casket, a couple of tower hits, but luckily it won't be first blood that Vici feed away. Still, nice little gain coming in from Newbee in the top lane.
Will this be enough to... Nope, not going to be enough to prompt them to try and switch things up. I guess they're happy with the Jakiro just continuing to farm up and pressure and get the early tier 1 tower gold down here at bottom. It's going to be important, especially given that I don't feel like the Ember is doing okay, and Ember is a pretty good catch-up hero, so I don't think they're super concerned about the fact that his early game is going pretty poorly against the Tinker, but SC is really laying into him.
Yeah, he got him. Fenrir, top lane. Fire Blast, 1-second stun, cast. Maledict will save him for now. Sunray ignites. Tangos, I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to tick down, in fact, and Paparazzi can only really look on. Maledict doing a lot of damage to Mugi, but it's not going to be enough. He has a self to work with as well, so he's fine. And again, this aggressive tri-lane from Newbee, putting in some pressure and starting to get a slight advantage here in this laning phase because of the pressure they're applying.
Yeah, they're doing well, and like we're saying, SC is farming well, so that's the main source of it. Lamb is trying for a kill here on mid. Kind of has to pull him away from the creeps with the cogs.
This is tough. This is really hard. He's got a creep inside the cogs with him. SCCC still might be in trouble. There's the press the attack. Searing Chains, overwhelming odds. They're going to turn this around, and Ori is dead as well. KP with that TP scroll. Level 2 overwhelming odds. More than enough damage to turn it, and my god, does that give the Tinker quite a bit, I feel like.
Flame Guard just got annihilated. That was such a nice TP from AP. Last game it was the Ori turnarounds, or the previous game before that with the Lesh, and now it's SC with the, or KP with the turnarounds. Very nicely done.
So I mean, this is all going pretty damn well. The only thing that they could be doing better in is getting more damage in the bottom lane. Ori is getting shredded by SCCC, and I mean shredded. He's level 3 to SCCC's level 5. SCCC is already up to Boots Bottle. He's got a Null Tally to work with. He's working on his Soul Ring next. They'll try to rotate Lonaman again. They're going to scan, though, so they know that he's here, and SCCC is not falling for this. So, again, this mid lane, like you mentioned, getting SCCC off to a fast start, it's absolutely happening right now for this Tinker, 100%.
He may not realize that it's the Clockwork, because I think he was scanning for the Invis Ember as well, but yeah, not gonna bother. Lamb just gonna head back down towards bottom. KP might be in a little bit of trouble. He's pretty far up, low mana.
Yeah, he has no mana right now. It's a good point. 50 right at this point, so he won't be able to use his press the attack. Not that he needs it. It looks like Lanham is going to be spotted by an Observer Ward in the meantime. Dual Breath, Liquid Fire. Maybe they chase him down. Here comes Lanham, but it looks like KP is still pretty safe. He has Moment of Courage. He has a Tango running. Top lane, Paparazzi in trouble. He's the one getting caught up. Cask, Battery still. Maybe they can turn this. Paparazzi's low. He has to tango up, needs to be careful of Faith in his ability, but he will get off a couple of auto attacks. More than enough to get the kill. Finra will secure it with his last auto attack. And finally, Vici getting a kill after a lot of deaths going the way. Now looking for KP bottom, perhaps. It's just Young 11 giving some harass, so good stuff there from Vici to make sure they can get a kill top.
I'm pretty sure he strafed the Chaos Bolt, which is what saved him. Like, that was pretty sick.
That's pretty hype, actually.
Oh man, so this tooltip doesn't, unless you do the alt hover, it doesn't say anything about. Oh, no,
yeah, see, dodge ranged attacks or spells.
Yeah. Okay, so the information is there, but it's a little bit.
It is a little confusing for sure. When you first read it, you feel like, okay, it's probably just going to be ranged auto attacks or something like that, but it's a lot more than that, and it makes things a lot more interesting for the Clinks too. It looks very silly, don't get me wrong. I didn't see it. I wish I did, but
I don't think he even moved. I think it just, like, the Chaos Bolt just kind of just disappeared. And Newbee were kind of not left scratching their head. They probably realized what happened, but they didn't follow it up with the Ogre Stun very quickly to lock him down and actually get that kill.
Now I want to see strafe happen. I actually want to see if the quote-unquote animation is still there. Or lack thereof.
I mean, what's the best? Maybe for a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, something like that. Or just any auto attack for that matter.
Yeah, that's true. There's not that many, like, I don't know if there's gonna be that many obvious ones. We need like a projectile auto attack for it to really be obvious.
We will see if it happens. For now, Ember taking plenty of damage in the mid lane, so he's moved elsewhere to find him some farm in the jungle. Again, you talked about Ember. He's a very good catch-up hero, even if you're really far behind. As long as you can keep the game somewhat even, or it can make it up. But again, Tinker, he's also a really good playing while you're ahead type of hero. Get bots, get Blink Dagger,
sure.
And then you just take down wave after wave, get farm, and with bots especially, you just get involved in fights, and Vici will just have to split up the map. There's not much they can do. They're working on the tier 1 tower bottom. They're doing a lot of damage. Fenrir is also rotated in. Liquid Fire, overwhelming odds is done for KP. Cask about to come in. And there it is. Can they find this? They have no ice path. Dual Breath, there's the press the attack. He's going to go for the TP. And that should be enough to keep him alive. Nicely done from KP. He's burning down, but he's in the well. He will regen up, but he will lose his tier 1 tower in the process. He's forced to give it away. But now top lane, they found Paparazzi. Here comes the Remnants looking for Mugi. This could be big for Ori. He needs this kill. And now SCCC is up here. They're going to turn this around on 1 second stun and a Fire Blast. Ori's in trouble. He's got wand charges. Can't get them off in time. And Mugi is too damn tanky with treads. They will take 2. They rotate everybody other than KP to the top lane, but it works out successfully for Newbee.
Oh, and SC is getting so close to his BOTs. This is going to be... I think he's going to get huge on this Tinker. There's going to be... Especially because they've got the CK and the Legion, who don't necessarily take that much farm from the lanes. There is going to be so much room for Tinker to just be bouncing around everywhere, farming out everything. I'm not sure what kind of build he's going to be going for. I think the safest and most consistent build is kind of the more old school, like... Well, not old school, but like the Ags... Ags Hex kind of deal. But I have also seen people going Kaya and
Kaya's been
Dagon.
very popular, yeah.
So, well, we'll see what he opts for.
I wouldn't be surprised if he builds Kaya. Now, it's kind of interesting. You were asking if SCCC has a Tinker, and I know that he's gotten a lot of help, obviously, but he is playing very well. And now he's going to find Lanham. And Lanham might be in trouble. Battery Assault, he's level 9 on the Tinker. He's a little bit low in mana. He does have a Soul Ring to work with. On the other side, Young 11 was coming in, and that means that he will have to back up. It's on level 4 on the Clockwork. Although Kaka needs to be careful. He's level 5. Young 11's trying to find a Liquid-Fire, but Kaka's a little bit too speedy. He's going to be able to hightail it out of there. And they will have to focus their attentions elsewhere for Vici Gaming. So the Ember Spirit continues to lag behind. He's below KP in terms of net worth. Good news for Vici Gaming is they have the top... Well, hold that thought. I was going to say Young 11 is the top net worth hero, but now he's going to die. Icarus Dive should finish him off, and KP will secure the kill. And now the Tinker has eclipsed him. So that is rough. Losing that hero for 25 seconds is a bit rough, so... Okay.
He does have his Yules picked up. So going to be helpful with maybe trying to move around the map and setting up some kills. Or I think he just wants to go and take all the other tier 1 towers if he possibly can. Though that might be a tall order with this Tinker Boots of Travel already up. It's only 3 points in the march so far, but
it's time to march though, my friend. And Mugi, level 5, they will glyph, they will rotate the Jakiro, and now he's keeping into March, and the Young 11 needs to be a little bit careful. He will back up, he will deal with a creep wave. On the other side, Paparazzi, well, this is the good news, is that you can take Batting Roots rather easily with Skeleton Walk. He has his Death Pact up in 2, he will use it here on the Satyr. He will need to be careful. Courier, that's going to get taken down. Oh, maybe not. Shield just in time. Really good hotkey there from somebody, and Paparazzi can't chase it, so... Very close, but no cigar to getting that Courier kill.
I don't know if... I'm just worried that Vici have no reliable way to avoid getting picked off this game. Like, normally, you talk about this lineup with a Legion Commander and a Tinker, and you might be saying something about just 5-manning to avoid it, but how do you can't 5-man into the Tinker Phoenix either, so... Somehow they just have to play a really careful pick-off game.
Yeah.
Young 11.
They're going to be the ones that get picked off. 11 is going to get dropped Reality Rift. They're even going to find Lana more than likely. They have another... Nope, no Chaos Bolt. Lana will TP right in front of them. There's nothing they could do. They've already used Duel, no Fire Blast, not even had any mana for it, so... And this is the problem. You want to pick off some of these heroes with Paparazzi as the Clinks, but Newbee are playing literally together as 5. They will rotate Kaka mid. That's fine. They're trying to defend the tier 1 tower, which is going to get glyphed up. Paparazzi and Ori will leave. Venro's getting room to get level 6 bottom, which he just got, but they're going to lose the tier 1 top lane. So Newbee, it is only a slight advantage, but I have a feeling this is going to snowball out of control here. This lead is about to become a lot larger for this Radiant team.
Yeah, the Clinks is going to take a very long time from here to come online. The Jakiro is in a position where he can kind of do something, but with who? I guess they're trying for this kill up here on Mugi.
This could be huge. He's got Reality Rift. Lanham will make sure he gets Battery Assault. Lanham's actually rather tanky, and of course, Young 11 slowing him down enough that he couldn't really do any damage to Lanham, so nicely done there. That's actually a pretty big kill. Gives you some space to work with, but again, not enough space to be able to deal with this Tinker, who is going to have his blink pretty soon. And we'll keep seeing what they can do to this Tinker at this point, which is not a whole lot.
Yeah, SC's already pretty difficult to catch. They're running down here.
Uh-oh. They're going to smoke. They should have detection, and they will use Dust, and it actually hits onto both. Good. Revenant away from Ori, though. Keeps him alive. Paparazzi maybe not so lucky, although he's pretty speedy with Skeleton Walk. SCCC doesn't have a Blink Dagger. I actually think Paparazzi's going to be fine. So they will break the smoke, and Young 11's going to start pressuring this tier 1 tower. Okay. All right, Vici. Good stuff.
You got some moves.
For sure.
They got something going on, and also they got Lamb hunting up here at top. Unfortunately, it looks like the Witch Doctor took the tome.
Oh
so
my! He's actually so close to 6. He just needs one creep. Oh, Fenrir's walking up.
6, this Tinker is dead. He's already dead.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate for Lanham. Man, and they might not even get this tower out of it because the March is going to come in.
This is why denies matter. This is like one creep that KP denied earlier in the game.
All right, walk up a little bit. Right here. Just Liquid Fire, Dual Breath it. They're going to flare it. Get in experience range. Come on, baby. There it is. Now they can go for a kill. I'm sure SCCC is not coming back anytime soon. Oh. Light of Heaven picked. He knew. Light of Heaven knew. He was ready. Light of Heaven's like, oh, he just got 6. Oh.
I gotta do my GG break.
No, come on, dude. It's not a thing. SCCC and Paparazzi. I don't think you're winning this fight, Paparazzi. I'm sorry to tell you. You have level 1 strafe that's on cooldown. Good effort, though. That was pretty hype, though. I thought for a second there that things were about to pop off. But no such luck.
No. It's interesting. Vici, like, continuing to split pretty nicely and starting to pick up some more farm across the board, which is certainly good. Ori realizing that they're not going to be pushing high ground anytime soon, just going to be going for the slightly more farm-heavy build on the Ember.
Oh, hook shot.
Nice hook.
He has Supernova. He's going to Icarus die. That's not the target you want to hook shot, unfortunately. They needed a Cask from Fenrir, but now the duel's going to come in. Cask will come out the Sunray. The Reality Rift from Lanham is mega dead, and Fenrir will drop the Death Ward, get stunned immediately. The laser will come out, a double kill for KP with overwhelming odds. That's both of your supports dead, and probably not a good place to fight for Vici. So, again, good effort, but Newbee was there, ready to react pretty much instantly. By the way, SCCC went Force first instead of going for the Link, which I like a lot against Clockwork, because he knows it's probably the only way he dies.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I don't even know if it's going to end up being that SC has to do that much damage this game. Like, it might actually be okay to just go Force Blink Hex or something like that, and just let kind of the CK and the Phoenix do the damage. Since Vici aren't that tanky, really, when it comes down to it, right? They are they're like an Ember and a Witch Doctor.
Nope.
Duel on mid.
That is a mega dead Ori Ember Spirit. Now KP is on a mega kill spree. Surprisingly, it's 20 dual damage, by the way. But they will take tier 1.
Like 3 of these dual kills, just barely, but yeah, still.
This is getting tougher and tougher by the moment here for Vici Gaming. They will smoke, they will wrap around, they will try to find a target. They will see SCCC as bottom. Again, he does have a 4-step. This is not the easiest gank to pull off. Young 11 will go for the Yules. There's the TP cancel. He's in the march, taking a lot of damage. Good force away. There's the hook shot, though. This should be a kill. KP's even in it. Cogs, you gotta help out. The Death Ward coming in. There's actually 3 heroes of the Cogs coming in. The Death Ward. Lanham is low. He's not dead yet. Now coming into the back line, that's Moogie. A double kill for Paparazzi, but this is turning pretty sour all of a sudden as Moogie will find a double kill. Remnant in from Ori. It's gonna be a 3-for-3 trade, but Young 11 will fall next as well. Looks like he's got Yules in 1. He might live, actually. Ori's still going to work. He's got 4. There are gonna be at least 4 dead. Ori will find a double kill. The Supernova coming out will save the life of 1. That is going to be the Phoenix. Vici somehow making a good fight out of nothing there. That was quite interesting. Wow.
Maybe just I think he had his camera like over on the right here, trying to chase after the Jakiro, and then Ember just happened to be running by over here, and just he tried to toggle his armlet and got ticked down by the Flame Guard. That was a somewhat embarrassing death from Moogie, but turned out to be a decent fight in the end for Vici Gaming, especially being able to get the Tinker. Good job from Lanham, just holding on to the hook until he saw that the Force Staff was on him. He waited for the Force Staff to come out, jammed him with the hook, and set up the fight beautifully from there.
Oh. 11 is in some trouble. The Sunray will come out. He can Yules himself, but he's dead one way or the other. And that's the gank potential of SCCC, even with a Force Staff. He's getting closer and closer to that Blink Dagger. Newbee's smoked up, trying to find something bottom. Well, that's going to be too little too late. They're only going to get scraps, including this group wave and maybe a tier 1 tower. But even so, Vici Gaming, they've evened this game up. It was looking like it was going to get out of control there for a moment, then that fight happens, and now it looks like Newbee could find a couple more kills. It might get out of control again, but they're doing a very good job for Vici to stay in this game. They almost have a Desolator for Paparazzi. Ori has caught up quite well. Quite brilliantly, in fact. He's working on a Radiance now, which makes a whole lot of sense. And if he can get to that, then all of a sudden things get very positive for Vici.
Yeah, so looks like he has kind of decided to commit to the spell damage build this game. I mean, going for the Radiance, picking up the Flame Guard absorption talent. I don't mind this necessarily. I mean, they've got Clinks to kind of bring the physical damage, and they don't really need... I mean, it's not like Ember, even with a physical damage build, really sieges high ground or pushes buildings all that quickly. I think this makes a lot of sense. Also, the Radiance is going to be so annoying for Tinker, canceling blinks and whatnot.
They definitely just smoked on that ward. In fact, they're going to drop a sentry just in case. They're not backing up that quickly, though. Moogie is starting to get out of dodge at this point. SCCC is keeping the shrine. They actually might find Moogie. Ewell Scepter, Ice Path, Macropyre to come in. Moogie might be in trouble. Death Ward to come through. A lot of damage. He's going to get cogged up and killed. Very big pick. Can they leave now? Can they get out of trouble? Heat-seeking missile onto Lanham. He's still pretty tanky. He's got the Urn charges to work with as well. Vici are sitting in the tree lines waiting for Newbee to run into them. KP, he's got the Blink Duel, Bloodlust, SCCC blanking in, looking for a duel. They're going to try to find Lanham, and there it is, but this might not be the target they want. There's the Ice Path Remnant, and Ori is in deep. The Supernova, the Fire Blast, KP will burn down. Ori gets the job done. Supernova stun is about to happen onto Young 11. The Heat-seeking missiles coming in. Paparazzi is solo. The Ewell Scepter defensively. Ori remnants himself back in, but there's going to be the Fire Blast. The Sunray, he's in trouble. He might tick down. Oh, he gets killed. It is actually going to be Kaka with the last tick there from the Sunray. I thought he might have gotten denied by the Ancient Prowler Shaman. No such luck. Faith might burn down to the Liquid Fire. He's getting low. He will earn himself back, and they're going to try to turn this around. Young 11 gets stunned. The 2-second Chaos Bolt, more than enough damage to get the kill along with the Reality Rift. Now looking for Fenrir. They can't get the next Reality Rift. The Heat-seeking missiles up in the high ground. SCCC continues to blink. They will find another. Moogie gets back in the fray just in time, and Vici stay a little bit too long, and they can't find the big kill onto the Tinker, obviously. And a big fight win coming in from Newbee.
I don't know if Ori... He played so well in that fight, jumping into the backlines and doing a ton of damage and forcing out the Supernova in a bad place. And then I don't know if he forgot where his Remnant was or what the situation ended up being. Maybe he thought he had a little bit more mana and wanted to jump in and chains the Ogre and the Phoenix and continue finding more kills. But instead just kind of ends up suiciding to the Sunray, and it turns out to be a decent fight for Newbee overall.
If they could have gotten Ori away there and they just disengage, Vici, they get a lot of gold out of that engagement, but instead they feed away a little bit more gold to the Tinker, who now has Blink. He now has a Force Staff. He's working on an Aether Lens. They will find an Illusion in the meantime. Again, though, Vici, despite losing that fight, they're not out of this game. Again, Radiance is going to be there for Ori in just a little while. They have the Death Sword for the Clinks. They've done a good job fighting, as we just saw in that last fight. They just need to continue to split up the map, get some more farm, and go from there, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely needs more items on this Clinks. The Ember, I mean, despite that death, not actually too far away from his Relic at the very least. I think we'll see him have his Radiance in the next couple of minutes without too much issue. But Newbee are getting more items. KP going to continue along this pick-off kind of line as he works his way towards a Shadow Blade. And the Phoenix has actually purchased a gem. So they're going to really lock this, like put their side of the map on lockdown, just to allow themselves a bit more wiggle room to farm, so that they don't have to be so worried about the Clockwork Clinks pickoffs.
Speaking of which, Kaka hasn't died this game, by the way. Very impressive in comparison to the performance from Young 11 last game. Not to say Young 11 played poorly, but the fact that this is a support Phoenix with a gem and a Ewell Scepter and has not died this game is kind of tells the story of why Kaka is such a good support. So he will have that to work with. They will try to lock down this map, as you mentioned. Vici are sitting on a ward, and they're going to smoke on top of it again. That's literally the second time they've done that in the past 5 minutes.
Fade.
That is kind of unfortunate, and I don't think they're going to find anything out of this. Maybe they push the bottom tier too. They have Young 11. Moogie is saying, hey, he's missing. They're going to probably push bottom. But maybe Newbee go for Roshan in the meantime. It's kind of... They have a Tinker. It's not the easiest thing, but there's a double damage rune, so maybe they will. They're going to see the double damage rune with the Flare in the meantime. And I don't know what you do here. Paparazzi's about to run right into them as he's working on the tower. This is a bit dangerous. Alright. Well, this gives a lot of time to Ori at the very least. But here we go. Newbee are going to head into the pit, and I don't know if Vici can really fight into this with Phantasm and a double damage on the Chaos Knight.
They got to be careful. There's some pretty darn good AoE damage on the...
This Roche is dead
side,
before they even flare. They can maybe go for a hookshot play. It's going to be close. They're blocking it with KP. There it goes. There it is. They're going to remnant it in too little too late. Lanham's dead now. And time to get out for Ori. He actually remnanted it right away. And a good effort, but very good block there. They knew they had a ward. I think they knew where Lanham was sitting up here, and he just hooks into directly to KP and crew. Oh, Ori. He needs to get out. He's got bots. Kaka has a Ewells. If he can find it, it's going to be close. And he will. No more remnants available, and Ember Spirit is dead. He's not even close. Oh, maybe he can get this kill onto, onto the Phoenix, but he does have his Supernova. And here comes KP. They'll get a dual victory. He was so close to his Radiance. He was like 50 gold away. That's depressing. He was actually about to make it out, too. Good effort for more, but very nice find from you, Newbee there. Again, getting another kill.
Yeah, that's super rough. That's one of the other things, like you were talking about Kaka's Phoenix just a second ago, but that's one of the other things to talk about, and one of the big strengths that Newbee have as a roster is that they have some players that are potentially individually like top 1 or 2 on specific heroes, and I think Kaka is definitely in that conversation for Phoenix, and you're seeing exactly why in this game. He's just putting in so much work with the Sunray, great positioning. And they're looking for even more up top here. Young 11 going to show himself on the wave for a second.
You are super dead. Ice Path, but the Supernova comes out. He's going to use himself. Maybe he can blink out of this. It'll be tough. He actually makes it away. He's going to go for the TP immediately. The Supernova stun actually misses. So wow. Close. That was literally right on the edge of the Supernova stun. That's incredible. He's able to make it away. Very good blink out of the Yule Scepter. And now they're going to spread out the map a little bit more. They might lose the tier 2 tower for sure, but... Again, a little bit more time given to Lanham and rest of Vici to get back into this game. Some more farm. They are only down 3k. Acropire will clear out the wave, Young 11. This is actually a lot harder than they thought. Meanwhile, Paparazzi's been spotted. Yule Scepter Kaka has seen him. I believe this is a kill. Duel comes out, heat-seeking missiles, so they won't find Young 11, but they'll probably find a bigger pick in the Paparazzi Clinks instead.
SC has decided on his item. This is a pretty, like... This is kind of an old school build, I guess, going for the Force Aether Lens into the Dagon. This might just be his most comfortable build. I would guess that SC probably hasn't played that much Tinker on the new patch. Oh.
I think Lanham is dead. Cog's coming out, maybe not. Ori's coming in, but with Kaka here, they need to be very careful. A couple of TPs coming into the shrine as well. Ori taking a laser to the face. Mugi's on the back line. Fenrir's dead. 3-second stun. Lasered. Stun raid down. Lanham's going to go for a TP. He will make it out, but they surely will lose Fenrir. On the other side of the map, KP and Faith are dealing with Young 11, who's taking a lot of damage. They can't get the tier 2 tower still. It's actually not even taking that much damage, so objectives, well, they're getting kills. They're not finding the objectives yet for Newbee, but I think that'll come with a little bit more time.
Just Secure last pick is doing a lot of work for Vici, though, right? It's really keeping them in the game, holding onto the buildings. Has at least a bit more pick-off threat on the Tinker as well with the Blink Yules. He's going to be going for the Lincoln Sphere next. I guess they know that they have to somehow keep the Clinks alive against the Chaos Knight, right? If he gets Reality Rifted or dueled successfully, he's just dead. So I don't even know if... I guess the other nice thing for Young 11 is even if he's using it for himself, it's more of a split pushing tool. He can kind of head out onto the map without having to be as worried about being caught, though still needs to be careful about like a random Sunray just canceling his blink and being in trouble from that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's, as a Jakiro, you'd like to be a little bit more proactive, perhaps, but he's been on defense for the past few minutes, so... And he probably will continue to be. They're going to lose their tier 2 tower bottom, potentially, as Mugi. He still has Aegis for another, what, minute and 10 seconds or so. Vici don't want to really fight into this. There's a lot of good ward coverage now for Newbee. They are all bottom. He will try to split up top for Paparazzi and the crew. He's not at his BKB yet. He needs to be a little bit careful. Flare will spot things out. There's the tier 2 gone. Can they threaten high ground? They have Phantasm. They have Aegis for another 53 seconds. Paparazzi is waiting, as Triple C doing his job of making sure they split up the map. Ori needs to be careful. Phantasm coming in from Mugi, and now they will go to work on this tier 3 tower. Macropyre Ice Path. TP coming in from S Triple C. He will blink himself out of the creep wave. And Phantasm kind of wasted, but Paparazzi is about to die again, it looks like. He needs to leave. KP was looking for a duel, but they don't have Kaka yet. He needs to Icarus dive. He will now. But it's too little too late. I think Paparazzi's actually going to live. So they use a couple of abilities, including the Supernova, actually. But they're able to split up the map a little bit more for Vici and stay alive just a little bit longer.
And Kaka was just a little bit worried about dying to that Radiance Illusion. And very nicely played by Ori, leaving the illusion at the shrine, giving that little bit of extra vision to Paparazzi to allow him to just split push that little bit more aggressively and force them back. Because I think if not for that illusion, one, KP is going to be able to blink immediately after he TP's in, but two, he also won't know when he's on his way and won't be able to play nearly as aggressively. So, really good opportunistic use of the rune. And now, well, maybe he's still looking for something.
They have a blink at KP, but Young 11 realizing that this is a dangerous position gets himself out. I mean, it's a 7k lead. Yeah, but it's still like the numbers are going up and Mugi is getting really farmed. I guess Tinker can only get to a certain point in this game. You can only get so scared of the Tinker, right? I don't know.
The thing about Tinker is that he's like, even with all these items, I feel like you still kind of play on knife edge the whole game. It's the kind of hero where you make one miss blink or one bad decision, one little lapse of judgment, and you just feed. And then it's especially difficult for a Tinker, I think, when if you haven't been dying the whole game. You know, Tinker requires a lot of focus, and it can be really jarring playing Tinker, and then you die and you're dead for like 60 seconds, and that could be really disorienting. Probably, you know, maybe not for a player like SCCC. I feel like his focus levels are pretty crazy, but you sometimes see Tinkers just kind of lose control of the game after a single death, because also the lanes all get shoved in, so the space that you have to work with all of a sudden gets really drastically reduced. It kind of requires this constant upkeep of the March spam.
I will say SCCC, he has this force blink. Maybe he gets Yules, and then he has everything he needs to survive. He's been very difficult to catch. Like, they were just looking for him with Lanham, but he's constantly blinking, he's constantly changing position in lanes. Makes it very difficult for them to find. And Newbee are freed up elsewhere to go find kills like they are now. That's a very good Remnant for Mori. Very good Sleight of Fist Remnant. And this is good because it gets him, he's getting closer and closer to that linkage sphere, and if he can get it, he'd survive these type of dual initiations perhaps a bit easier.
Yeah, and at that point they might be able to not worry about the Legions so much and actually be able to start kiting the CK potentially in these fights. It's not going to be easy. He does have a BKB, but I think it is something that their lineup is capable of later on. Oh, they found Young 11.
Yeah, they really did. They really found him. I mean, and immediately though, Paparazzi's back bottom. He's got strafe. This thing's going to fall quickly. They have no glyph. This tier 2's dead. So good stuff from Vici, but in the meantime, they're going to have to deal with a high ground push now. No Young 11 for 50 seconds with no buyback, and that's a lot of your D push gone and a lot of your damage. Mugi's just going to use his Phantasm, although he only gets 2 illusions, which is a little bit unfortunate, and he needs to be kind of careful. Sunray's about to be done for a little bit. Cask will come in. SCCC looking for Fenrir. Ori's going to go in. Now they've got the Fire Blast. They're looking for more. Mugi pops the BKB. They'll get the tier 3 out of this. Paparazzi's going to go to work. Now Paparazzi will pop his own BKB. Mugi in a little bit of trouble here. He's got the armlet toggle. The hook shot. He's in trouble. Will he fall? He will. Paparazzi gets it done. They will trade away the life of Lanham. It is going to be a double kill for SCCC. They need to be careful. They have buyback in Lanham, but no Fenrir for 25. They have no Jakiro for 14, and this Rack's in trouble. Clockwork will buy back. You might need to back away. Range Racks might fall because of this. They are going to stay here for now. The siege creep. There it is. The duel comes out. They're going to find an easy pickup on Ori. He'll have to buy back. They will take down KP. SCCC is caught by Cogs, but he is getting a double kill. They dig in the laser. Too much damage. They will find the Ogre, but they've lost their range Rex. They've had to use a lot of buybacks just to stay in this game for now. It's a 13k advantage. SCCC is just out of control right now for Newbee.
Yeah, they can't do anything to him. Like you said, Clockwork cogged him, and then he just got Dagoned in the face, and that was the end of life number 2 for Lanham. SCCC has farmed up a Storm, and they picked this Tinker so early, but I guess Newbee just realizing, hey, we don't really feel like this pool has the right heroes to deal with Tinker. There's no Storm Spirit. You have the Clockwork, but SCCC feeling very confident just to adjust the item build a tiny bit, going for the Force Staff first, and hasn't really had to worry about him ever since.
Yeah, that was kind of insane. I think it would have been fine if they got Ori and a couple of other heroes up to a faster start. Those fights in the beginning of the game would have swung around drastically, and I think probably would have favored Vici a lot more. And they were pretty close fights despite being down a couple K for Vici, but like you mentioned, they just can't deal with SCCC in the beginning of the game. He gets out of control. And they didn't really itemize for, Dagon, Aether Lens type build from Tinker. It's kind of hard to itemize around that when he picks it up late in the game too, so.
Yeah. I like the way that Newbee played the early game as well, in terms of prioritizing SC. So even just that TP in from KP, the fact that he was ready at a split second's notice to TP in and save the mid lane, to me says a lot about Newbee knowing that the Tinker really is the heart of their game plan in this situation. They even got him the double bounty rune at the start, just to get him kind of the perfect beginning to the game. They used the scan to make sure that he wasn't getting ganked by the Clockwork, and now he's paying back all of that early priority in spades.
Absolutely. SCCC is having a heck of a game, and he needed to. This is game 4, by the way. And it looks like if all things stay the same, we're going to be headed to Game 5. They have Cheese now. In fact, it's the Ogre Magi that's picked it up. Aegis is up, I believe, on who exactly? KP. And they also have a heart being built by Chaos Knight. Meantime, Young Eleven's going to get dueled and killed. Does he have buyback? He does.
Yes.
So that's at least somewhat good news. But at this point, you're already down on range racks. You're about to lose your melee racks as well. Although I do like what Paparazzi's doing, but this is so hard to do against the Tinker. He just comes in, he marches, he clears out the wave, and then he TPs into the rest of his team. This is the issue. You can't really split push here for Paparazzi. In the meantime, Moogie will find Fenrir. I'm sure he blew him away. Rax is about to fall. And if they can get a couple more kills, this is going to be probably game as well. Buyback comes in for the Jakiro. They're working in the tier 3 bottom. The Glyph will come out with the illusions working on the Rax mid. That'll be dropped down. Young Eleven's Lincoln's is broken. They're going to Supernova in, or rather Icarus dive in with the Shiva's Guard going as well. Faith is just walking up. Now Boogie's coming in. That's a dieback. That is a Jakiro down for 90. That is going to be game as the Tinker blows away everybody else. It's a double kill beyond godlike spree as Triple C having the game of his life and forcing game number 5 in the process.
And Newbee just they kind of cruised through this one. I feel like the Clinks didn't really end up doing all that much. They controlled the whole map with the Tinker, and Vici very much struggling to find a way to deal with it.
Yeah, they had a couple of chances, especially in the early game. They took a couple of maybe questionable